In many countries in the world, as in North Macedonia, the financial resources are scarce, especially having in mind the socioeconomic impact of COVID-19. To achieve these ambitions, it's important to shift the existing financial flows, both public and private, towards carefully selected interventions that will accelerate the development in a sustainable way and avoid instruments that create negative externalities.
Преку конкретни мерки за поттикнување на инвестиции и пренасочување на постоечките средства кои во одржливи цели, како во јавниот, така и во приватниот сектор, можно е да се зголеми економскиот раст и истиот да го обезбеди благосостојба за што повеќе луѓе, да се намалат емисиите на стакленички гасови и загадувањето, да се подобри квалитетот на здравството и образованието.
What makes the recently launched Growth Acceleration Plan by the government and the Ministry of Finance different?
The magic of this is just what was presented here is introducing innovative financing in order to make sure that we mobilize also private capital in investments in the public sector as well. And this clearly based on market principles. So we have introduced the new instruments like green bonds that we will issue next year, the so-called project-based bonds, development bond, and the inflation index bond.
Our law on climate action is ready. We're currently harmonizing with all institutions so we can be ready to do that. We're also looking at including potentially a carbon taxing method on it. However, though, we also need to be aware of our own industry. We don't want to put a disadvantage to our industry if we do that, because at the same time, one of the largest CO2 emitters in our country is our own state-owned energy production company, ESM. We need to balance that as well.
And it doesn't happen overnight, right? It doesn't happen overnight, so we should also be realistic about the timing of reforms, the complexity of reforms, and how this process is never a straightforward process. But you need to start from somewhere, acknowledging the limitations, and also having very clear in your mind where what your end result would be.
UNDP recently commissioned a report in North Macedonia that looked at the challenges of flood risk transfer, which I think is proposes a roadmap to tackle identify difficulties, but I also think it's a little bit forward-looking report that provides for the opportunity to plan and budget better.
За владата останува важната препорака дека се битни на краток до среден рок да се направат реформи и на приходната и на расходната страна од буџетот.